Hello and welcome to the 24 Frame Show. I'm your host, Chris Mezza, and joining me on the right of my screen thingy is Junior Dylan Mosquito. Dylan, say hi to the audience.
Hi, good to be here.
Thanks for thanks for coming. We're here today to discuss the mind-bending 2010 blockbuster film Inception, which was written and directed by Christopher Nolan.
The film stars Hollywood star and director lookalike Leonardo DiCaprio. DiCaprio plays Dominic Cobb, a thief who steals top secret information from people's subconscious.
That's right. This movie is all about dreams, and also family, and philosophy. Well, it's about a lot of things, to be honest.
The film is often said to be very confusing and one that people recommend watching multiple times. Some people think that it's a masterpiece, while others might think that it makes no sense.
Well, no matter what the opinion is on the film, there's no denying the influence it had on popular culture. If you haven't done so already, we highly recommend watching the film so you can form your own opinion on it before you just listen to us talk about it for however long it's going to be. Alright, so from this point on, spoilers lie ahead. Okay, Dylan, so our first section is all about the story of Inception. So the first question is, describe the film's plot in 30 seconds or less.
Oh boy, alright, here we go. Let's do this.
Alright, 3, 2, 1, go.
So Dom Cobb is a thief who steals information from people's subconscious, so he's hired by a man named Saito to break into his business competitor's subconscious and plant an idea to not expand his business, because otherwise Saito will go out of business, and in exchange for this act, Saito plans to wipe Dom's criminal record completely clean, because Dom has been accused of killing his wife, and Dom wants to see his kids, but he can't see his kids because people think that he killed his wife, so if he gets his criminal record clean, then he can see his kids, and that's about it.
Good job! 26 seconds, round of applause from the audience, I guess. Okay.
A non-existent audience.
Yes, the one that exists in our minds. Okay, so moving on to question number 2. Did you understand the movie the first time that you watched it?
I think I got the general gist of it. Like, obviously, I didn't pick up everything, but I got the general, oh, they go into the dream and they come out and all that.
But not everything, which goes on to our next question. Have you rewatched the movie, and if so, what have you picked up on?
I have rewatched it a few times, and there's so many little details and things, and little bits of dialogue that you don't really listen to the first time, or little visual things, and they're the basis for so many different theories and the themes of the movie and all that, and it's really cool how it all comes together.
It is cool. So, moving on to our fourth question is, describe what a totem is in the film.
A totem. A totem is basically some sort of small or unique item that you'll carry around with you. And if it acts strange or weird in any way, then that's how you know that you're dreaming. Like in the movie, Cobb carries around this top, and in real life, obviously, if you spin the top, then it would eventually stop spinning. But in the dream, then if he was dreaming, then the top would spin forever, and that's how he knew, oh, this top is acting weird. I'm dreaming.
Well, if I had a totem in real life, mine would be this Hamlet book, and if I had it in the dream, and if it made sense, then I know that I'd actually be dreaming. Actually made sense. So, from that, what would your totem be if you had one?
My totem. I don't know. I don't really carry around any interesting objects or anything. I mean, I carry around a phone, but everyone has a phone. I don't know what it would do wrong to say that I'm dreaming.
Maybe your totem could be your hair, if it was straight and it wasn't so massive and curly, then he'd know that you're dreaming.
If my hair is not incredibly messy, then I know I'm dreaming.
Alright, so Dylan, moving on to topic number 2, the acting of the film. So question 1, who gave the best performance and why?
I'd have to say Leo, our man Leo.
Our boy.
Yeah, I can really tell that he's just consumed by the guilt that he has over what happened with his wife, and he never really says anything or does anything.
You can really see it, I think, in his eyes throughout his full performance. Yes, the gateway to the soul or whatever,
Yeah.
Okay, so question number 2, if any, who gave the weakest performance and why?
Weakest performance. Probably Joseph Gordon-Levitt. But, no, it's not his fault though. like he's good actor. Just in the movie, he's the one who gives all the exposition.
He's like the narrator or something, but he's just like a character. It's like the set, like it's the scene description. Like this is how this works or something. Like, but
He doesn't have. He's not much of a person in the
no,
movie.
he's like a robot, like an explain how the movie works robot, pretty
Right.
much. That's all he is. Okay, so moving on to question three. Do you think that the actors had chemistry together in the movie?
Yeah, for the most part, I think they had pretty good chemistry, especially between Leo and Maul, his wife, and Saito. I think the three of them probably had like the best chemistry because like they have the most emotional connection to each other. I
Yeah,
feel.
like the biggest performances in the film, too, I guess,
Yeah.
like the most heft. Okay, so question number four. What character would you want to meet in real life?
Um, I would want to meet Joseph Gordon-Levitt so that he could tell me how everything works, and I'd be really smart.
You can see what he's like if he's a little more of a person
Yeah.
and not just like a
See
robotic
what kind of a
character.
guy he is.
Yeah, yeah. See what he likes to do, what he
Yeah.
likes to do on the weekend, hang out with them, or is he just gonna be the same? Like, then I go to the coffee shop, then I get some coffee. I hope it's something different. Okay, so question number five: what character would you be afraid to be trapped in a year-long dream with?
um, I'd probably say Cobb because he is kind of a messed up guy. Like,
Yeah, he's going through some stuff.
yeah,
Yeah,
there's some weird things in his subconscious that I don't want to meet.
scary stuff. It's like a horror movie or something.
Right,
Yeah, that scene where it's like that the elevator of doom and everything is like a different memory of like his terrible life, and he spends hours and hours or whatever every night. That
right.
seems pretty bad.
That's not good.
Okay, so moving on to topic number three, let's talk about the directing. So, what did you think of the direction in the film?
I thought it was pretty good. I mean, Christopher Nolan. Yeah, he's a pretty good director, I
Pretty
guess.
good,
Yeah.
yeah. Whatever. Oscar winner, nah.
Yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah.
okay.
But yeah, like you can tell that like he has a real like clear idea of what he wants it to be. And like looking at like the behind the scenes stuff, like you could tell he's very like involved and very like passionate about everything that goes on.
He definitely has like more of an idea for the film than a lot of other directors, I think. Like just everything about the film, like how it looks, how the characters sound, just everything about it, it's really cool. Okay. So, moving on, how does this film compare to Chris Nolan's other work?
Um I think it's pretty good. It holds up pretty good. Out of all of his movies that I've seen, I think I like this one the best because like he's just I think it feels like he's just put the most effort and like the most time, which I think we'll get to later. Uh but yeah, he's it's clear that this has been like something that he's wanted to do very
Like a
much.
passion project
Yeah,
because
yeah.
like I don't know how passionate he was about Batman. I'm sure he
Yeah.
was, but this is like an idea that he came up with, something he probably really wanted to do. All right. So, what did you think of the film's score?
Oh, you mean the
That.
Yes. Well, I think it worked pretty well in the movie. And like now in every movie now you have like the same like blah all the
Yeah,
time.
every trailer, it's like no matter what it is, it's like this summer, see how these ladies have dresses, blah, or
Right.
something comes into like a crazy action movie,
Yeah.
make it more intense. But yeah, not every movie, obviously, but a lot of trailers use that.
Yeah, and like but obviously at the time of Inception, it was this big new thing. So it was really influential. So that's cool.
It is cool, and I think it works for the movie because it's a cool, intense thriller. So, moving on to question number four, what did you think of the film's writing?
I thought it was written pretty well, except for Joseph Gordon-Levitt being chosen to explain
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, that part wasn't great. I don't think he improvised a lot of those lines. I
Yeah,
think it was just story beats. He wasn't just like, "This is how the dream works," and then Chris Nolan was like, "This is brilliant. We're gonna keep this in. This is the best character I've ever created in my life."
right. But yeah, other than that, like all the characters of, well, especially Cobb for the most part, like his lines are all very well written. He's very much like a character, which is nice when you're a character. It's nice to be a
Yes,
character.
exactly. You can relate. You can root for them. You're not just like, who is this person? Why do I care about them? Okay, so are you going to see the director's next film, Tenet, the backwards movie?
The backwards. I would like to, but there's a global pandemic in the way.
Since when? What? I didn't hear about
I don't know
that.
what you're talking about.
Yeah, come on, Dylan. Are you okay? I think you've been watching too many movies or something. But yeah, that kind of affects it. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
get that.
obviously I care about all like the people who are suffering, and that's all very sad and all, but also I want to see the movie.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll be able to see it soon, but or at least that DVD or something. Okay, Dylan. So this next category is kind of a merge of two about the scenes and the effects of the movie. So question number one: what is your favorite scene in Inception?
I I really like the turning hallway scene, like everyone else. Very
Yeah,
original.
everyone. I know. Very original, Dylan. I have you on this whole debate thing, and you say the same thing, but that scene is so cool. Yeah, I can't argue with you about that. Okay, so question number two: the film used a lot of practical effects, like that hallway scene where everything flips over. Do you think that they're better than CGI, or do you think it's equal, or what do you think?
Um, well, I think like if you can and like you have the budget for it and everything, then practical effects are probably the better way to go. Because like CGI ages. Like if you look at like uh the first Avengers movie, right, which was made 2 years after Inception, but like the CGI there looks like it looks fake, you know. And like obviously it looked good at the time, but like watching it now, it's like oh my gosh, this is all computers.
Oh yeah, because computers get better every year, phones get better every year, but sets, like, it's just a set. You build it, and there it
Yeah,
is.
it's real, you know? Nothing real, what's real doesn't change. Or does it? Dreams. Huh?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, exactly. Like wood sets, like they don't just like there isn't new wood every year. There aren't
Right?
new trees. So yeah, practical effects are very cool, but they're obviously hard. Okay, so question three: what was your favorite visual effect? And I
Um,
guess it's similar to what I think it's gonna be.
well, I think that the best visual effect is the rotating hallway.
Really? I would have never have guessed. Okay, so
But
yeah,
yeah, there's a bunch of other stuff too, like the city turning over. That was really cool. And like when they're at the cafe and like everything starts like exploding in slow motion, that was cool. You know, I'm sure a lot of other people have said this, but
that whole scene where they're at the cafe doesn't really have anything to do with the plot because they never really do that stuff. Like they never bend cityscape, but like it looks cool in the trailer, so
yes,
it matches
it's
the
just to showcase
wow.
it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so are there any scenes that look fake in the movie?
Well, not that really come to mind. Or there was one near the end. It was like a half-second shot of Ellen Page's character when they're in limbo, and she like jumps off this like balcony or building thing, and she falls, and that's pretty fake looking to me. I don't know.
I guess it's only like a split second, like that scene. But
Yeah.
other than that, I don't think anything really looks that bad. Okay, so moving on to question number five. What scene was the most intense?
I'd say like that the elevator of doom scene when like they're when Cobb's like taking Ellen Page into like his subconscious and like seeing all his memories and how like everything unfolded, and it all culminates in like that last bit, and everything's like revealed about how people think Cobb like killed his wife and stuff. I think that's pretty intense.
It does feel like a turning point in the movie. Like she really just doesn't trust him anymore, or like she wants to
Right.
like know more about him. Like it's like a tonal change in the movie, gets a little more darker. Okay, so moving on to the next topic is what's bad about the film. These are common criticisms and how you'd respond to them. Okay, so criticism number one: the film has too much exposition, which we've talked about before, and characters, yeah, like characters explaining the plot. So what do you think about that?
um Well, that's just Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Cut him right out, and we don't have that problem.
Yeah. Get him out of the movie. We don't need
No
him.
more Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Inception now does not make sense.
Yeah. the movie makes no sense. But yeah, this is the second question, that the film is too confusing and it doesn't make sense. But we have Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He explains
Yeah,
everything that's
he's
going on.
explaining everything.
It is a little complex, but yeah, what do you think about that?
I think, well, obviously, there's not everything's gonna like be obvious on the first viewing, but I think with Joseph Gordon-Levitt there to guide you along,
Yeah.
I think it's not impossible. Actually, it's pretty possible to like understand everything. Like you have to be very alert to view. It can't be like on your phone or like doing something else.
All right. So yeah, another criticism is that the film is too long. There's obviously a lot of exposition, a lot of things. But do you think it's too long? Do you think 2.5 hours is okay for a movie? What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, well, obviously there have been longer movies, but like, I mean, I guess yeah, for us like just a regular summer blockbuster, 2.5 hours is kind of heavy. But I mean, I think the pacing like in the movie is pretty good, and I think if you like took anything from that to make it to cut it down to 2 hours, the flow would be kind of weird because it would be
Yeah, it's got a build and everything, and there's like all the dream layers and everything, so it just got to get more exciting. So I didn't think that was that long. Okay, so another criticism is that the supporting characters are underdeveloped.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yes, but not just him. Like we don't know the motivations of some of the other characters. Like why are they part of this team? But him specifically, he seems the very most like robotic and everything. He says. But what do you think about that? Do you think that there's time to develop all those characters, or not really?
I think we know what we need to know, and obviously, it would be good. It would be nice if we
Mhm.
got some more time to get to know the other characters.
Inception 2 or something like that. Yeah,
Exception too.
all about the side characters that you didn't really care about in the first one.
But I mean, the movie is basically Cobb's movie. Like it's a team and everything, but like it's all about like Cobb's emotional
Yeah,
journey.
that moves on to the next question: is that the film is too cold or it lacks heart? And what do you think about that?
Um, well, I feel like I hear a lot of people saying that like Christopher Nolan movies in general are too cold or like they're very too technical or something like that. Which I mean, they are very technical. Like he's very detail oriented. But I mean, I don't think that means automatically that like there's no emotion. Like at the center, it's just about a guy that wants to see his kids and he feels bad about his wife's death. Like that's pretty emotional. Like he wants to go to his kids. That's sweet.
It's pretty like deep for like an action movie. Like you think of like something like some other action movie. You don't know that much about the characters, and even if you do a little bit, it's not that like emotional. So yeah, I think it does have heart. All right, Dylan. So let's move on to the fun round.
Oh,
Trivia. Then do 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 do. I don't know what the Jeopardy music is, but I'm trying to recreate it there. Do do do. I don't know. Okay, so what spy film series inspired Inception?
um, was it a Bond, James Bond?
Yes, it was. Good impression there. Okay,
Thank
so
you very much.
how long did it take Chris Nolan to write the film?
Um, was it like 10 years on and off? 10 years.
It was. Good job. Because he had like a bunch of other movies that he had to do because they wanted him like I mean, I guess they didn't want him to do it because it's just easier to make a movie like Batman or something than like this
Yeah.
movie about dreams and stuff like that with a bunch of
Right.
layers and like all these different things, you know? Like not the easiest to sell to like a like $200 million or whatever his budget was. But yeah, it was around 10 years. Okay. So, question number 3, in the film, why was dream technology created?
I don't know this one. Uh,
That's okay. It's Joseph Gordon-Levitt who explains
of
like
course
he
it
explains
does.
everything. I know, but he explains that like dream technology is created for the military or something. So like soldiers can like practice and stuff like that, get used to it before they actually go to war. And then people like him stole it so they can steal people's thoughts or whatever. It's just more complex stuff. It's like isn't it just easier to break into people's like safes or whatever, but than all these weird dream stuff. But I don't know. Okay, so what acronym do the characters' names spell out?
Doesn't smell dreams because there's Dom, there's
The other
R.
characters? Yeah, I don't
It's
know.
probably Joseph Gordon-Levitt. This character doesn't even have a name, I bet.
What is he? Robot? Yeah, yeah.
R for
Dom
robot.
robot. Yeah, exactly. Eames, but yeah. Anyway, so good job. Question number 5: how many dream levels are there in the movie?
Um, there's the van, then
Oh,
the
sorry. Like
hotel,
in the final like inception scene. So yeah.
the
So
final.
keep going.
Okay, the van, the hotel, and the snow thing base place,
The
and
James Bond type thing.
yeah, and limbo, right?
Yeah, that's like a shared dream space. I don't. They don't like fully explain it, but yeah, I guess it's another layer of dream. So good job. How many of that is out of 5? So let's count. So 4 out of 5. Good job.
Yay,
Yes,
80%.
I'm gonna edit it out so like it's not just me like oh for like a few seconds. That's a little boring. Okay, Dylan. So moving on. These are what's good about the film. So these are common praises and how you'd respond to them. Okay. So common praise number 1. The film is highly inventive and thrilling. What do you think about that?
Well, it's pretty thrilling. But it is a thriller, so well, yeah, it's action packed, lots of thrills, and yeah, it is pretty inventive. With the whole like concept of like going into people's dreams. Like, obviously, maybe it's not like completely like an original, mind blowing
It's
thing.
kind of like The Matrix or something. Like
Yeah,
yeah, or it's been inspired by other sci-fi movies and stuff like that. But it does seem a little like more inventive, I think, than other movies.
yeah, it does a lot of new stuff. That's cool.
Common phrase number 2, it blends multiple genres. Like we were talking about thriller, but there's also some sci fi, crime, action, drama, stuff like that. So, what do you think?
Well, yeah, it does definitely have a lot of things going on, and obviously, it's not like the first movie ever to like cross genre lines, but I think there's definitely like elements of each of the genres in it contributes to make something that's really cool.
It is cool. Okay, so.
I'm calling this movie cool a lot. This-
Good thesis. It's like, it's cool.
it's
I think we
cool.
agree. Yes. Okay, so, common praise number 3 is that the movie makes the viewer think and question what's going on, which is sort of the opposite of like, it's too confusing. So, what do you think about that praise?
Well, I think it's definitely like it's not like a lot of other like movies out there where like everything is just spoon fed to the audience. Like there's a lot of inferring going on. I feel with Inception.
But yeah, it's not like so intelligent. Like what is going on? Like you have to study it in like class or something.
Well, yeah, no, it demands a bit of attention.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so next common praise is that the movie is a metaphor for films itself, with Cobb being the director of the film or the dream in this case, or
Mm.
Saito being the producer, Joseph Gordon-Levitt being like the executive producer, all these different things. So what do you think about that?
Uh, well, yeah, I've seen a lot of people talking about that and how it's like a metaphor for movies, and I just think like that's really cool how like Christopher Nolan was able to like work that in, and like I don't know how much of that was well, it probably was intentional.
Yeah. I think he said that like it was kind of like he I think he said it was kind of intentional, but it wasn't like something he was really focusing on, just something that sort of happened. And like I wonder cuz like Leonardo DiCaprio does look a lot like Christopher Nolan. So I don't know if
Yeah.
if he did cast him for that reason, like someone who's like him, someone who like acts like him, has a suit, and like that's what Christopher Nolan does all the time. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know how much it was thought out, but still interesting. Okay, so another common praise is the film's ending. It's pretty ambiguous. Do you think that's good? Do you think that's bad?
Well, I think it's a pretty good ending. Like it definitely leaves an impression, and I think like based on like the way you interpret it, it kind of like changes the movie. Like if you think he was like awake, then that would be like the usual like happy ending, summer blockbuster movie that everyone likes. But like if you think he was still dreaming, that's like not really the type of thing you would see in like a summer blockbuster. It's more like a character driven like a drama kind of thing.
That's something really cool that I like a lot about Christopher Nolan movies is that they're both that crazy cool blockbuster, but they're also like that deeper, more independent, sort of like dramatic, making you think movie, which I think is cool. Okay, so going off of that, we were just talking about the ending, and that's what this topic is all about. So, question number one: do you think that he was still dreaming or not?
I think that he wasn't.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah. I think, well, the top wobbles. The
Yeah.
top wobbles.
I guess it's just a real top. Like they didn't just get some magical top that really could spin forever. Maybe if they like done more effects or something. But yeah, it does
Yeah.
wobble.
And like, I think, well, obviously,
Mm.
they said he would wipe his criminal record and you would see his kids. But then there's also like the thing where his kids look exactly the same as the way he remembers them.
Yeah, it's been a while, so they might like actually grow up or
Kids
something.
age fast.
Yeah, they don't stay like three forever. So I guess they do in the dream world, but not in real life. Anyway, so pray. I mean, about the ending number two. Did you like how it was left ambiguous? And we were just talking about that before.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Obviously, I like that the ambiguity allows for a lot of different interpretations about how, like, not just the ending is, but like how what kind of a movie it is.
Yeah,
Because like based on if it's a good or bad ending, you can like judge the entire movie as like like a nice fun summer blockbuster. Everything goes good in the end, or like more of like a more realistic sort of drama,
yeah.
even though it's all about dreams and stuff.
Well, it's definitely more impactful. It like makes you think, obviously, and you can talk about it with your friends, like we're doing right now, for hours and hours. Anyway, about the ending number three. Does it really matter if he's dreaming or not? If he's happy at the end, and he obviously seems happy at the end, if he can see his kids.
um, that's good.
I try.
um, well, I don't know, cause like we were talking about earlier, like how he can't function without his dream reality and how he uses that to cope. But I think obviously there's a difference between like just dreaming to be happy and actually being happy.
Yeah,
But then also it could be possible that he's been confused about his reality like his wife. So basically I don't know.
in summary. But that's okay. Anyway, moving on to another ending question. What was your first reaction when you saw it for the first time? Like when you first saw the ending, where you're like, "What?" or like where you're like, "Okay."
My first reaction. um I think I was like, whoa.
I,
You know.
I think I already read like a spoiler or something, so I kind of saw it coming. So, but it was still like good. But
Well,
I
yeah.
can't imagine like like oh seeing it for the first time. Okay, so the final question is: would you ever want a sequel to Inception? Why or why not?
um I don't think so because of the ending, because a sequel would have to address that
Mhm.
unless it like was a different
It
story
was
in the
just about
same
like the
world.
side characters that we know nothing about or something like that.
I mean, I guess they could theoretically get away with like a completely different story with completely different characters, but in the same world where like this dream technology
Mhm.
exists.
But like, how would you be like interesting if we've already seen Inception? Would it just be like Inception, or like would it be something else?
Yeah, like maybe it would be like a different story. Like maybe these people aren't using it to like steal secrets. Like maybe they're using it for some other purpose. Or maybe like a prequel about how like criminals got their hands on that like a military technology in
Mhm.
the first place.
So you're saying
That could be
like
interesting.
if there was a sequel, it'd have to be like a different idea. It couldn't just be like about Leo DiCaprio's character and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Mm.
because that would kind of ruin the whole uh thing like the movie has going for it. It's like self-contained with all these characters. They begin and end in the
Yeah,
movie.
totally. All right, so after spending an hour making fun of Joseph Gordon-Levitt, we finally made it to the final topic, the legacy of Inception. Okay, so the first thing is the film was released 10 years ago. Do you think that it still holds up?
Um, I think so. I mean, well, obviously it's still a good movie. Like it's not like become bad over 10
Yeah.
years. But
There's nothing that outdated.
well, yeah, there's nothing particularly outdated. Like, well, the dream technology is fake.
Yeah. Maybe they're phones they use, but like you can't really control that. Like that's just how cell phones were back then, you know?
Yeah, and they don't even use that many phones. Like they use, well, I guess there's that one part where a cop calls his kids and he used like the a cord
Hmm.
phone with the cord. But like, I'm think that even that was dated even for the time, so it
Yeah.
was probably like not supposed to be this new thing.
Mhm. And but you were also saying like sorry, about like the practical effects or like it like you were saying Avengers doesn't really hold up 8 years later, but Inception with all these like cool practical effects, it like kind of does hold up. That really helps it, you know?
Yeah, because everything's like real. It's in camera, and like because of that, it can't like be phased out by like anything newer because reality doesn't get new. you know.
I know, exactly. Okay. So another thing about this movie is that another question was what will people think of the movie in another 10 years? So it's been 10 years right now, so what will people think in 20 years?
um I think it'll still hold up pretty much, unless like some sort of drastic thing happens. Like if they come up with the dream
Yeah.
technology, then. But I think definitely it'll have a big impact because even now, like we're still seeing like the way it's like changed uh blockbusters. Like
The bomb
people are
in
trying
every trailer.
there's blah. And like it's like set the scene. Like Christopher Nolan movies in general have all set the scene for like the more darker blockbusters.
Yeah, and for superhero movies too, like yeah,
Yeah.
Marvel movies, they try to be a little edgier sometimes and all these different movies. So yeah, I think it will hold up in another 10 years. So, another question is should there be more original blockbusters like non-franchise movies like this? Or what do you think?
Uh, well, yeah, I think because recently there've been a lot of like movies that are based on like existing IPs, like sequels or reboots or remakes and that kind of thing.
Mhm.
And like because those people know those, so they make money. And I think it would be nice to see some original ideas that are like straight from movies,
Mhm.
like Inception. But then again, I'm sure there are some, but they're bad.
That's the only reason Chris Nolan got to make this movie is because he made those franchise movies like Batman. So it's like
Exactly.
kind of a hard balance, like I want to make this big original movie, but I'm not going to get the money because no one's going to really see it. So because people only saw it because they knew who he was. So yeah, it would be very nice to have more like cool original movies. I think we're agreeing on. Okay, so question number 4: should the film have won Best Picture at the Oscars because it was nominated for Best Picture? What do you think?
Oh. Um,
I don't know the movies from 2010 that were also
yeah.
nominated, but do you think it should have won or something, or not really?
I'm not sure because I think King's Speech won that year, and I haven't seen that, so
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
know.
know how good it was.
Hmm.
So I can't really tell. I mean, it was definitely a very good movie,
Yeah,
but I don't know if it's like the same as like like the kinds of movies that do usually win the Oscar, like that
yeah,
kind.
yeah. Lord of the Rings won, I think, Best Picture, and that's a pretty action
Oh
sci-fi
well, yeah, I
fantasy
guess
movie.
that's true.
But not every movie is like that is.
Yeah, for the most part, they're not like a big blockbuster movie.
They're more serious, like tear-jerking dramas usually. Okay, so question number 5, the final one. Do you have any other final thoughts or about this film or about this discussion in general, where we just sort of agreed with each other for every single question? What do you think?
um, well, it's a cool movie, except for Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, that's our biggest criticism. Every single time we gotta be like, he just wasn't that good. His character wasn't great. But other than that, I think we both agree this is a great movie. And if you haven't seen it already after watching our whole debate, watch it. I guess you know everything
I don't
about it
know
pretty
why you
much.
would have watched this if you haven't seen the movie, but
Watch it a
that's
few more
cool.
times. All right. So thank you for watching the 24 Frame Show. I'm your host, Chris Mezza, and joining me today has been Dylan Mosquito. Bye, guys.
I'm Dylan. See you later.
You are Dylan. Okay, bye.
Bye.